Hey guys, welcome back to Flight Sim, and I'm Avangel. I just screwed up my introduction because I don't know why. Long reasons. Either way, this is Virtavia's A4 Skyhawk, and it's the A4 Echo. I will say, the last one I reviewed, the MSFS one, didn't even get to the end of the review. We'll see where we go with this one. The exterior textures are not fantastic. It is a Virtavia, but it's better than the other one. Now, price for me was 25 euros, which is steep, again, just like the Sterling we got. I think it's a lot for what you're getting. It does feel like the FSX one, the P3D one they made, but it is what it is. Now, the Skyhawk was designed to replace the piston-engined Sky Raider as a close air support interdiction type aircraft, and it was capable of carrying conventional and nuclear weapons. The prototype flew first in 1954, and the A model came out in 56. Bravo 57, the Charlie in 60, the Echo came out in 1962. Now there's also the F version, which includes the upgraded nosewheel, steering wing spoilers, new ejection seat, and the avionics pod, the hump. You'll see here, this comes with 4 versions. We've got the F and the E, so the modified variant and the later variant, of course, that there was, and the Golf for the Royal Australian Navy. Now, it's not a bad aircraft. I'll give them that. It's not great, but it's not bad. Now, it does to me strike as a port over. That is what it is, but it definitely handles interestingly. We'll say that much. Now, starting and stopping is relatively simple. Let's get inside and take a look, shall we? But we'll take a look outside before we do that. I'd say this is the worst part of it. It's not the best part, but it's, yeah. Simple exterior texturing, it's FSX quality, less than I'd expect for the price they're charging, seeing as the budget Milviz aircraft I just looked at was 17 euros, and considerably better, and also it's probably about 1024 textures. See, they've gone into details such as all the fittings inside the wheel well, and such, but not other things. Which seems a little weird. There's some details that are really good and some that are meh. Got the slats here. It has got the option to turn the pilot on or off. It's obviously a stock pilot figure there. And the steps. So, not a great exterior. Especially for the price. That's the bit that bothers me. The prices feel a little on the high side with this aircraft. The interior is considerably better. It's not anything to write home about. Compare it to Dave Garwood's Free Hunter. And this is kind of on the mid end of the scale. Clicking here, the emergency bomb jettison will get rid of your yoke. Obviously, we have the ability to switch off the pilot and the landing steps here, which gives us that. Open cockpit, empty seat, no landing steps. Those will be switched on again with profile and long. Nice and simple. So fuel quantity readout. As we look around the cockpit, we have some various controls. Most of these things are not functional. That's our tail hook, which is, but they don't know themselves if it's compatible with actually hooking. It's a tail hook functioning game, so it should allow you to work on the in-game carriers. There are various add-on options. Obviously, our electronics are back here. Generators and batteries are all there. Our avionics systems, etc. we would expect it to have. Obviously, nothing works with ejection seat, more to the shame. Canopy lever is there. In fact, we'll leave it open for the time being. Down here we have our auto throttle of a sort. It will grab your current speed and hold it. Flap indicators here. Fuel and engine start panels there. Radar controls. Most of these don't work. TC does. And as you'll notice, we've got this here. There's not a lot of information on how it works, other than it is a simply functioning system. The gun sight, I can't make it turn on myself, so don't know if it will work, but it's just a blank there. Now we will get this. So let's start the aircraft and get going here. So throttle is in cut-off position, so we need to press here. And then we'll also hold the starter. And let it start up. Could take it 15 seconds, they say. I do like the detailing on the pedals, the little Douglas pedals there. That cast look is so classic. Reminds you this is a 1950s aircraft. I think it hooked there. So we should be starting up now. Put the yoke back on here. So landing gear there. The texturing is okay. It's not fantastic. It's nothing to write home about. And it is a Skyhawk that isn't complete crap compared to the MS Scenery one, which was awful. Now, there we go. The engine sounds aren't wonderful. They kind of just appear. Let's close our canopy here. At least the sound actually drops off when you close the canopy, which is, you know, something. I will say the fully weapon-equipped ones, this is the clean version with nothing on it. The fully weapon-equipped ones are spicy when it comes to actual handling because they're very heavy. This thing carried way more than would make it maneuverable. Let's get ourselves parking brake off here. Set our flaps down 1 notch for takeoff. You've got to apply quite a bit of power to get moving in this thing. Now, running it clean, it's a lot more maneuverable, a lot more willing to actually behave itself, but it's very heavy. Very, very heavy. And if you try and perform aerobatics under 300 knots, it will get squirrely. It can spin violently. Only do that at altitude. You want to be over 300 knots to really throw it into anything aerobatic, like snap rolls. Remember, this is a ground attack aircraft. It is not a fighter. It's not meant to be one. Definitely not the kind of aircraft that operates at Orcas Island either. Okay, so recommend is nose trim 15 degrees up for takeoff. And you want to keep your stick full aft on takeoff roll, so... It was down there. We want to be looking for 15 degrees nose up. Looking good. Okay. Let's go to full power. And release. It's not quite a carrier launch, but we'll keep our stick back here. You don't want to taxi too quickly. Oh, hello. That launched off quickly, but we are light and violent. So let's put some nose down trim in here. Gear coming up. You'll notice our slats are attracting as well with the speed. And she's slick. Sounds are not awful, but they're not great either. A little choppy between stages, but otherwise it sounds like a 50s jet at least. Not sure if it's accurate, but there you go. I do like the opposition kind of blue camo. What was our speed right now? We're picking up speed here. Passing through 300, I think. We've got some altitude. We'll go for a roll here. She's very unstable when it comes to rolling. Like, rolling slower is one thing, but if I were to do this... Okay, she's more stable because of the speed, I think. I think it was lower and slower last time, and it actually got violently rolly when I took it out for a test flight. Let's do 400 here. Not great side visibility, but this is what the Skyhawk was like. And I would say it's better than the other one we had as an option. DCS people are going to say this is awful. I'd agree. Likely the DCS one is far better. And all its functionalities would work, which is cool. You know, fair enough. It's a game for combat vehicles, so it's going to be better. And although I will argue in some cases the Spitfire is definitely not better. The Flying Iron one I'd say is superior, but that's just me. I've only flown that one and the Flight Sim one. So DCS and the Flight Sim one, I prefer the Flight Sim one. It feels more realistic. But this isn't terrible. It's not great though. It's definitely got flaws. Graphically, it's inferior. I think their Sterling was better. I think that aircraft actually felt like it was a far better handling aircraft to the sim. The cockpit looked decent enough. This looks decent enough inside. I could put up with it if I really wanted to fly a Skyhawk. But obviously there are better aircraft. Let's go up. And over the top, because reasons. Whoa, see what I mean there? She gets that violent shudder on there. It does not like rolling hard. At all. Power back here and descend. It's... yeah. I'm not going to be doing canyon runs in this, perhaps. It's very sturdy. With the weaponry on it, it's a pig. What is cool, though, is if you have the weapon equipped and you look down here, Master Arm button, wherever that is, there, will switch your weapons from being loaded to empty. So if you have, for example, rocket pods with the nose cones on them for, you know, drag reduction, and bombs, if you hit that, it will basically jettison the weight of those weapons and show them as used, so the bombs will be off the racks, and the missile pods will be clean, dirty-faced, which looks pretty cool. It does take the weight away, simulate running a mission, you know, weights there and back. Obviously you can't actually fire them, it's flight sim, it's not a combat sim. But it works, you know? Where are we at right now? We're dropping through 6,000. The one thing I do like about jet fighters is flying through the clouds. It always feels very majestic. There are worse aircraft out there. I'd say as a port, the price is extreme. My biggest gripe with this and the Sterling is their price is absolutely not correct for what you're getting. You're getting lack of functions, you're getting simplistic exterior textures which are not really suitable for MSFS. I paid £24-25 for the last one, the Sterling, and the same for this. The pictures they preview show it looking a lot better than it is because it's at distance normally. I really think that's the weak side here, and I don't think that's particularly fair. I think they're at most worth half the price. If it was £12, maybe, you know, $10, $12, $15, I'd say it's worth a pop. But if you are looking for a good Skyhawk, I would say this is not. If you're looking for a Skyhawk, this is okay. And that's about it. Now, they say the spoilers have no effect in the sim. Let's find out, shall we? I just put the spoilers out there. Which is funny, because they say the spoilers have no effect. And I just heard them go out. What? Oh, there they go. Yeah, they say they have no effect, but I guarantee they do. Because other aircraft use them and they function. There's our runway. Let's circle around and get lined up for that. Give it a notch of flaps here. We nose too high up there. We're angle of attack increasing. This is a very scuffed approach, don't mind me. But I do feel like it benefits from descending slightly steeper and straight down. Okay, there's our runway. We should be able to circle onto final from this. Got to keep the speed up. We want to be approaching at 120 knots. That's our approach goal. There we go. We're looking solid here. Keeping the speed good. Okay, looking sturdy. Reduce power, let it descend here. Now, there's plenty of runway here at AUKUS for this aircraft. It should work well. It can struggle with speed and pitch at lower speeds. So I need to be careful. Whoa, we're slow, we're slow, we're slow. Power on, power on, power on. Yeah, we're sinking. And we're too slow. And I'm full extension here on my pitch. This is going to be a scuffy landing. No, not my best, not my best, not my best. And I'm in the bushes, probably. Yeah. Yeah, that happened. Boing. Are we dead? We're dead. I'd have been dead. I'd want to say that was my fault, but I don't think it was. The aircraft handles very, very poorly at low power. I'm not sure how accurate that is. It may be completely accurate and I may be a moron, which is entirely plausible. Oh yeah, stopping the engine, by the way, it's real simple. You literally go, dink, and off it goes. So, as we're sitting here on the side of the runway where our crater now exists, the long nose gear does make it a little interesting on rollout, but at the same time, I need about 3/4 power to keep this in the air. It drops that speed off, and the speed brakes do nothing. It drops off that power incredibly quickly. It burns speed super fast, which I wouldn't expect in an aircraft this slippery. And it has a lot of pitch issues in terms of really having any control. Once you get to a certain point, the pitch has just run out, and you've got nothing left. And I found other aircraft are a lot more responsive in that axis. It may just be me. But this is the clean version, which is the only version I've been able to really successfully fly. The versions with weaponry on them and bombs and that payload on there, obviously not really intended to land with payloads, which is a factor, I agree. Don't try to, because it is so heavy it will just fall out of the sky. It doesn't like it at all. You'll throttle back and enter the Earth backwards. Don't do it. I'd say the price is too much for what you're asking for. Certainly not something I'll be keeping in my sim library, which is a pity because I do like the Skyhawk a lot. It's one of my favourite planes in War Thunder, for example. I love flying it there, which is where I get my combat fix, by the way. My sim is for GA flying, and War Thunder is where I run around in an A10 being a sweatlord and looking at convoys, licking my lips. Otherwise, the Virtavia Skyhawk. It is a Skyhawk. Bye!